Hey everybody, Angelique Weiley here, business consultant, and today's topic we are talking about having an emergency response plan for your business and also a disaster recovery plan for your business, and how these two plans are so important to have when you're running your own business or working for a very large company. It's a good idea to give them the suggestion that they need to have these plans in place for their business to protect themselves and protect their people and protect their assets. So we're going to talk about both of these plans today, and hopefully you get a lot out of today's conversation. So what is an emergency response plan? First of all, emergency response plan is the actual plan that you write up regarding what would happen if there was an emergency at your business. What is your plan of attack to take care of the emergency itself? So first things first, you really want to sit down with a group of people and brainstorm, maybe flow chart it or put it up on a big whiteboard, all of the possible emergencies that could happen in your business. And it's different for every different kind of business. Obviously, I've worked in the hospital arena, distribution center world. An emergency for something like that kind of business versus maybe a retail type business or a restaurant, they're all different. So you really need to think about something that could happen to your business, whether it's a bomb threat, fire, depending on what region of the country you live in, a tornado versus a hurricane versus earthquake. Another emergency that could happen is your phone system goes down or your computer system goes down and your customers can't place orders or you can't ship orders to customers. So there's tons of different types of emergencies that could happen out there. So what I want you to do is sit down and put together a project team and of people who are going to brainstorm with you in a room and think about what are all the possible emergencies that could happen in your business. Along with this, inside of your emergency response plan is an outline of kind of how you would handle the emergency. Not to the fullest where you're getting into the disaster recovery, which is after the disaster has happened. But this is more of, outlining possible like fire drills that you're going to do once a quarter or once a year, tornado drills, earthquake drills, that type of stuff to prepare your employees. This will also include training for your employees, possibly assigning leadership type roles within your business for people who will be in charge of certain things during an emergency. This is also talking about updates to your standard operating procedures within your business. Updates to your systems, your computer systems would be included in this. And I suggest doing, I don't know if you've heard of this before, but some kind of a hazard vulnerability assessment of your company. They have templates for them online, and it's great checklist because it'll kind of go through, all of the possible types of emergencies that could happen to your business. Is kind of a checklist, and it goes through how would you rate yourself, how would you rate your business on this, or how would you rate your business on that. You can come up with your own hazard vulnerability assessments with a checklist that's just really specific to your business, whether it's retail or a restaurant or a hospital or an airlines. You would want to, really make sure that your HVA is specific to your business. But they're templates out there to kind of get you started and give you an idea. You can also search the internet for other companies kind of like yours. Maybe look for their emergency response plan. And so you have a template to kind of go off of and some ideas of what others in your industry have written for emergency response plans. Really, what you're doing is you are outlining when an emergency happens. These are the steps that you're going to take depending on what kind of emergency it is. And if you are in a business where you rely on other vendors, let's just say you purchase supplies or the things that you sell come in from another vendor, you will need to know what their emergency response plan is as well. And you're going to want to get a copy of that. Because if there's an earthquake and trucks can't get through and you can't get your supplies, you're going to want to know what their emergency response plan is, just as well as you're going to have your own. Because these are all things that affect your business, and it's important for you to really know. So that's emergency response plan. You're going to outline people's names, people's phone numbers in this. You're going to distribute it to anybody that your business really affects. Employees, leadership, possibly customers and vendors of your business. You will be distributing this to. So, make sure it's accurate. You're going to want to update it every couple months, at least once a quarter, if not monthly, depending on how big your business is. So it's very important. Now, kind of going into the disaster recovery plan. A disaster recovery plan is, okay, now the fire has happened, or the earthquake has happened, or the tornadoes happened, or the systems went down. This is real. It's live now. Your disaster recovery plan is, how do you recover from that disaster that happened? So, do you need to call an insurance company? What does that look like? Contact information, that type of stuff. A damage assessment. If you have a warehouse or you have a retail space, did the racking fall down, or is things damaged, or windows damaged? Do you need to board up doors or windows? Some kind of damage assessment where people hurt, and that's huge. What's the first thing you do? You call 911, you call the fire department, you assess the damage. Also within your disaster recovery, you want to outline who are your team leaders. Break up people into teams. You want a search team, you want a damage assessment team, you want an inventory control team, you want a phone team, some people who are going to call your customers to let them know that there was an emergency. People who are going to call the insurance company and your vendors to let them know what's going on. You also want to talk about your computer systems protection. If you had a fire, are your servers damaged? How quickly could you get up and back and running and have your operations running again? You're going to need to assess that. How many weeks will it take? How many days, weeks, months, possibly years? Do you have a third party that could actually take over your business for you during that time so you don't lose customers that you could divert your business to? This should all be written out in this disaster recovery plan. What are the steps that you're going to take if this, or this happens? And how are you going to recover? And how are you going to be able to service your customers? Who's going to do that for you? Lists of people and teams that are going to make these changes, help fix the issues. If you're a warehouse and you have a third-party off-site warehouse that you can divert your orders to so that your customers are not affected, that type of thing. This all needs to be outlined in this plan so that it's very clear that once a disaster happens, you and your employees are not all standing around saying, now what do we do? And confusion doesn't strike, and panic doesn't strike, and people aren't running around freaking out with their heads cut off. Have definite plans. And if you are a leader, you need to lead this, and you need to take control, and you need to be strong about it. You need to assign people what their tasks are. You need to get on it. You need to follow your plan to a T, and then it's a guide to help you. So make sure you have these 2 plans written out for your business. So very important. You don't want to lose customers. You don't want to lose money. You don't want to lose business. So go out there, get it done, search the internet, find templates, do it. I want to see them done. Have a great day.